welcome, Tami.
Thank you.
Okay. Very short, interesting music.
Yeah, yeah. It kind of was. I was getting into it, and then wait.
I know. It was just a short one. It's longer for the outro. Um, so, Tami is going to be with us in November at the Holiday Book Festival, as it says up at the top of the screen and on the bottom. We have it scrolling. 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Kensington Mill Falls Event Center in Milford, Michigan, which is right off of Milford Road. 96 to Milford. Hopefully, 96 construction is done.
Right.
Who knows? Maybe. It's a guaranteed maybe.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. So, Tami, how many books are you going to be bringing to the festival? How many titles?
I think I'm bringing 7,
Okay.
possibly more.
Oh.
I have a fantasy series that I have all the books out except the last one, which doesn't come out until the end of December. So after this festival, but I'm thinking I might bring a copies of all the rest of them in the series.
Oh, nice.
So I just have to, actually order them.
Well, you do have time. So you've got 2 pen names, Tami Lund and TJ Bell. Tell us which pen name writes which genres.
So Tami, well, let's start with TJ Bell because that's the easy one. That's the new one. I've only had that pen name for a couple of years. I've been published for over 10 years, and up until 2 years ago, everything was under Tami Lund. And I write romance, contemporary, a lot of contemporary suspense, and I also write paranormal and more recently fantasy romance, or romantasy as the book talkers like to call it. So Tami Lund has a lot of stuff, all kinds of stuff, but TJ Bell is more paranormal fantasy romance, period. So which is why I started it, because I was like when you look at my Amazon page, it was getting a little cluttered, and I think I wanted to make it obvious or make it easy for readers. Oh, I like this kind of book. I'm going to read all of them under TJ Bell.
Oh, okay.
So we're getting there. But yeah, Tami Lund still, Tami Lund has all kinds of stuff, but it's all romance.
Oh, nice. So what got you writing romance?
The typical story of being way too young and stealing Harlequin romances from your mother's bookshelf.
I remember those days.
And I mean, I completely devoured it. It was my favorite genre. I mean, I've read all kinds of different genres, but that's always kind of been close to my heart. And when I've wanted to be an author since like middle school. It took me until my 30s, but I wanted to do it since middle school. And my mother actually kind of made an attempt at becoming an author at one point, and has a handful of unpublished manuscripts. And it just kind of, like, she was just so into it, and I loved reading the books, and I was like, it's just that's my favorite genre. So it was very comfortable and easy to start writing it.
Now, are you a pantser or a plotter? Do you like the outline, or are you kind of in between things and it varies?
Yeah, I can tell you that every book I have ever attempted to plot and outline never got written. I am 1,000,000% a pantser. I mean, literally, I can start. I'll be driving down the road, and the first couple lines will pop into my head, and I'll just run with it and write a book, and then have no idea where it's going to end.
So it's just whatever comes to mind, whenever it comes to mind. Hey, you never know.
Yep. So it's exciting because I don't even know where the book's going while I'm writing it.
I like it. No idea where it's going. So you have one coming out in December.
Mhm.
And then do you have any more plans to continue?
Yep. So on the Tami Lund side, I just released in July, or was it June? I think it was July. I just released the first book in a new romantic suspense series that I've started.
Oh,
and book 2
nice.
is coming out in October.
Mm-hmm.
And book 3 is like 2/3 of the way done. So I'm hoping I can release it in the first quarter of 2025. And then on the TJ Bell side, I actually have a 3-book, a brand new romantasy, or it's actually Gaslamp fantasy, which is basically historical romance and add fantasy.
Interesting.
It takes place in 1895, and I based it on Mackinac Island.
Oh,
right?
That's always a good place.
Right? But it has all these fantasy and magical elements. So it's all based in that time period, but with magical people and magic happening. So I'm super, it was really fun to read. I mean, really fun to read, really fun to write. And I did all this research, on the time period, but also just Mackinac Island in general, which
I was going to say,
so much fun.
I wouldn't have any idea what Mackinac Island looked like back then.
Oh my gosh. It's amazing how much has been preserved. I mean, how many pictures there are out there,
Mm-hmm.
where you can just kind of, thank God for the internet, right?
Right. It is our card catalog.
Right? Exactly.
Google.
Exactly.
Google has taken over the library.
It really has.
Awesome.
So
yeah, where's your favorite location to write in for you to physically be at when you write?
You know what? Sitting next to a lake or a river, any kind of body of water, just sunshine with a cup with some type of drink in my hand, depending on the time of day.
It may or may not include alcohol.
Exactly. I mean, like literally, like I just came back a couple weeks ago from vacation. We were up in northern Michigan near the Charlevoix area.
Okay.
And literally there was this rushing stream running through the backyard of the Airbnb we were staying at. And it had this cute little wooden bridge that the owner had built over it. And I just propped a chair with a cushion in it next to that and pulled out my laptop. And and I was like, I feel like I'm in one of my books right now.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
Are you writing on a tablet, a laptop, or pen and paper?
Laptop.
Laptop. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. To age myself, when I first started writing all those many unpublished manuscripts that are still in my basement were pen and paper.
Of course it was.
But it's much faster to type than it is to handwrite. Plus, then your handwriting eventually gets so you can't even read your own writing.
This is so true because I went on a writing session we were at Formar Nature Center outside of Flint, and beautiful place to write. I just took a notebook and took my notebook and pen, and it started out really nice and neat, and then you could tell where we got to the end, and I'm like,
right.
What did I write?
My hand is cramping and the thoughts are coming much faster than I can write them down.
Right?
Yep.
Oh, goodness. So you're coming to November, which I'm excited about. And are you going to be reading?
I think I put
I think you put undecided.
Yep, I did. Because I wasn't sure. This is my first actual in-person event since I can't even remember, well before the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So I'm a little out of practice.
Well, it's our first time having the reading section.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Um, so we had a holiday book festival last year,
Hmm.
and that was our first big event.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I didn't realize it was this new. Oh, cool.
yeah,
Okay.
and the venue itself, the building itself has been there and has been different things, but as the Kensington Mill Falls events, it's only been there a year in May.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, so last year it was okay, we're introducing a new event at basically a new venue that nobody knows is there. So let me tell you, it was interesting.
I'm sure it was.
We had people that went to the Milford Parade,
Uh-huh.
and I found out that I way underestimated the number of attendees,
Oh,
and I need to print a ton more flyers for those that are going to do that this year.
okay.
Um,
That's a good problem to have.
right. And it's a huge parking lot, zero entry. Um, and then we'll have the reading section, which is brand new this go round. So I'm it's interesting to see how many people said yes or undecided.
Hmm.
The no's, I had a few,
Yeah.
but it was like the majority were either on the fence or a definite yes. It's like, oh, well,
Okay.
that's gone
Yeah.
over very well.
Right? I just have to figure out there's a fair amount of swearing in a lot of my books. So I'd have to figure I just have to figure out what I need to find a safe for work section to be able to read. Like I have this very, very funny Santa book that I'm going to bring copies of to sell, and
Oh,
it's Santa Claus's love story, um, and it's very, very, very funny. It's very tongue in cheek. Uses a lot of Christmas euphemisms for the things, and so it's absolutely hilarious. But I'm just like, I'm not sure if the audience is accepting of reading this
it
out
may
loud.
not be children friendly. So Timmy will decide once we get there to see if there's a time when there's not a lot of
Right,
children around.
right,
Oh, there's an
right,
there's no kids. Tammy can read.
right. Exactly, exactly. Or I'd have to I'll have to figure out. I'd have to almost make myself a copy where I can just change the words from swear words to
Yeah.
acceptable words and just read
Well,
from
and
that copy.
you can do that, and then we can just preface your work and when you're done reading, remind readers that this is the cleaned up version,
Right,
that the actual version is available at your table.
right, exactly. And it's much funnier / juicier.
Right? I know. I had that problem trying to read it for a online book festival for Amaranth, my fantasy book. And yeah, it was like, okay, what can I read in here?
Hmm. Yep.
Awesome. Okay. So which book did you choose for the book cover contest? Okay, Mermaid's Tale, but that's right. It's good that I also recognize the cover. I've been doing a lot of graphics,
I can
which you should
I
be
can
able to
tell because I
download.
follow you on social media.
And these videos will also be going up on social media.
Okay.
These will drop sometime starting in October.
Okay.
I think I might drop them according to when everyone has interviewed. So yours would be closer to the beginning of October. Um, so yeah,
Okay.
let me see. Yeah, that was. I was just looking at my questions. We covered all of them. Yay!
Hey.
Well,
I
I'm
mean,
looking
I
for
can keep talking if you want. I'm really good at it.
me too.
Well, here's a question.
Yes.
What made you choose that venue, that brand new?
The brand new venue. That's a great question. I actually did. I participated in somebody's arts and crafts show that was actually in the parking lot
Ah.
of the venue.
Oh.
Um, a year ago, July,
Oh, okay.
and the gal that has the venue, she came out. She was walking around, and I asked her about doing a book signing there, and we got talking, and we're like, okay, let's do this in November. Okay. And then we had one in April.
Oh,
There
nice.
was a spring one in April.
Yep.
And then this one coming up in November. And then this coming June, we'll have another
Yep.
one.
I saw that.
It's at the end of June and will be in conjunction with indoor and outdoor authors.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a car show going on at the restaurant across the parking lot.
That's a great idea. Oh, that's,
So,
I know exactly where it is now that you just said that.
mm-hmm.
I can't remember
Right
the name
by
of the
Baker's.
restaurant. Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. It's right, but the venue is right behind Holden's party store,
Okay.
which the address puts you at Holden's. So you
Just
have to
drive
go around
back.
You have to drive around back. There's a huge parking lot. And it's by the miniature golf.
Okay.
Although in November, no miniature golf going on.
Right.
You want to do miniature golf and the books, you have to come in June.
Got it.
But yeah, it'll be out back there. Large parking lot for plenty of parking for everybody.
Awesome.
And they redid the entire inside. It's absolutely gorgeous inside. In
Nice.
fact, we had our wedding inside there too.
Oh, that's cool. Congratulations.
Thanks.
So obviously you just got married recently because it's new.
Yeah, we got married May 4th and we moved to South Carolina on May 15th.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Remember I said we had a book festival in April?
Yeah. Wow.
So that was the beginning of April. So we had a month to go from book festival mode to wedding and then moving.
Oh my gosh. That's
So, yeah.
stressing me out just thinking about it.
So yeah, it's been an interesting time.
It has. Wow. Well, congratulations. And you
Thank
guys
you.
survived. So
Yes. Yes.
so now you're apparently doing events in South Carolina and Michigan, I see.
We will have our first South Carolina book festival in October of 25.
Oh, it's not till next year. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Very cool.
Because now, granted, I could probably do Facebook ads and fill it in for this year, but I just didn't want to put myself through that stress.
Yeah, sure.
Because the price of the venue is a bit pricey.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to have time to get sponsors for that event because I absolutely have to have sponsors for that one.
Right.
Because I don't want to put that kind of price to my authors, especially for a first time event down here. So it's like, yeah, we'll get sponsors. So we need time to do that.
Right. Understood.
Yeah. So,
well, since mine's going to be one of the first videos to go up, do you have a list or a vague list of all the different types of books that people are going to be able to check out at this event?
Actually, on the website, which is being redone and will be redone by the time this goes up, but it tells what genres all of the authors, individually,
right,
who the author is and what genres they have is on the website. What that will look like come October, I'm not quite sure. Just the new website launches September 1st.
Oh, nice. You like how I've turned this around? Like I'm the one asking all the
I
questions.
know. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This turn.
I told you I could keep talking.
That's okay. I like it. No, I really do like it. It's way easier to do an interview where there's conversation
Yeah.
than when there's like all this dead air.
Yep. Just
Um,
one answer, one word answers, and just
yeah,
waiting for the next. Right.
you've been at some of my interviews because I do interviews for, well, now for this, but also for our smaller events that we do. We do meet the authors,
Mhm.
which
Mhm.
those ones are between 2 and 5 authors per time slot, and they're
Okay.
at coffee shops.
Oh, fun.
So yeah, we've got those coming up. In fact, there's one. Well, by the time this comes out, it will have already
Have happened.
But let me see. October will it'll be back in Novi at the Sweetwater's Coffee and Tea.
Oh, okay.
We do book signings there called Meet the Authors,
Hmm.
and it's between 2 and 5 authors, depending on how many authors are available that day.
Hmm.
And it starts at 11 and goes till 3:30. And if we have enough authors, halfway through between 1 and 1:30, we have a changing of the authors.
Oh, that's cool.
So especially if I have people that have the same genre,
Right.
I'll have one in the first half and another in the second half.
Hmm. Well, that's a good idea.
So yeah.
Okay.
So I do interviews for that. Because they are smaller, I want to make sure that people are going to gel, and
Hmm.
it's it's a little bit more work with having that small of a group
Right.
versus 32 authors.
Right.
And in fact, when we had the first November event, it was over 40 authors.
Oh my gosh, that's phenomenal.
But the caveat was that they had to share 8-foot tables.
Ah,
So you got
yep.
a 4-foot space. You had to share your table. You didn't get the entire table, unless, of course, someone didn't show. And then um, I always have the caveat that if you don't show by 10:30, then for that one, it was your table partner got to take over the entire table.
Right. Right. That's
Now we
fair.
just take out the table,
Right. Right.
rearrange tables.
Yeah, I would have had to bring less books if I had a 4-foot table.
Well, and that was the thing, is that it's a lot. It's amazing how much that 2 feet of space
Hmm.
makes a huge difference.
Hmm. Yep.
And the great thing is you get lunch
Yep.
included in these for
I
the
saw that.
authors.
That's nice.
That's because this is actually a banquet hall. So we can't
Oh,
bring food in.
I gotcha.
That's why for that event, for the November event, and for um, June for the indoor authors, you have to have their lunch.
Hmm. Right.
Um, because it is a banquet facility, and just like restaurants, you're not supposed to bring in food because
Right.
that's a health code violation.
Yep.
Um, so that's the only caveat. But let me tell you, we get a heck of a deal because we've done so much work with her,
Oh,
and
good.
the food is really good. I
Oh,
mean, I
good.
had my wedding there.
Right. Right. I was thinking, I mean, if they're doing weddings, that's generally a precursor to good food.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of important. It's kind of an important aspect of that event.
Yeah, must have good food. And it's really nice inside, and she's there, and in fact what I do is I give her a printout of the layout of authors and what they ordered.
Okay.
So all the authors will have that and go, and well, she'll have it, and then I do put that up in the files once we get closer to the event so the authors can see where they're at
Yeah.
ahead of time. Um, And that is it. It really helps. Um,
Keep things organized.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. But yeah, it's um, we've got the book cover contest. We've got the readings. We have my favorite, the passport to reading, which that is where uh, people come in, they get their passport, which this year it's going to be a little nicer pamphlet and or booklet, and they'll go around to the authors and get their signature. And
Nice.
then at the end, they'll have their passport checked,
Oh,
and then they get to enter into a contest to get one of 3 boxes of books.
oh,
And the
fun.
one thing that I ask of the authors is it's completely 100% optional. I do not check to see who does and does not contribute. I don't,
Hmm.
that's 100% up to them.
Hmm.
I have 3 boxes, those USPS um, one rate
Oh,
boxes.
yeah, yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
How many books can we stuff in there?
Yep.
Yeah, I do. So we do 3 of those, and then at the very end of the evening, we'll do a drawing. And if the person is there, they can take the box home with them.
Nice.
But if they're not, I send them an email, say congratulations, send me your email, send me your mailing address, and then
Just ship
I'll
it to
mail
them.
out the box.
That's very cool.
So yeah, the authors contribute a book, multiple books. It's entirely up to them. Um, I have not had any issue with having full boxes, which I think is awesome. You know, and authors can contribute a book and they can have it signed. They can put
Right.
in bookmarks or whatever with it.
Yep.
If they want to, they can do ebooks like a printed
Yeah. Or like
sheet.
a QR code.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and those I don't mind if they want to add extra to it.
Hmm.
Um, but I like to have those boxes nice and full, and I have. You know, we
Awesome.
we did it last November, we did it in April, and they were full. It was, how can I stuff these?
Right.
How can I get these in here? And
Right.
so that was good. But
That
if they
is.
and they have to send me their mailing address within a certain amount of time, or I don't chase them down
Sure.
to give them the books.
No, I don't blame you.
And so we did have one box that went unclaimed last year. So it's now on my bookshelf. So Mandy got to add to her indie author
Nice.
collection.
I was thinking, I mean, that's, I mean, who doesn't love book swag?
I know. It's like all you had to do was you already entered into the
Yeah.
contest. So all
Right.
you had to do is reply
Yep.
with your address,
Yep.
and then I send it out.
Right.
So
I highly doubt that happens. That'll happen very often.
no, because it didn't have. I was going to say, out of 6 boxes of books, that only happened with one.
Nice.
So um, it's been nice that some of them have been there when we've drawn the names.
Oh, that's very cool.
So then I didn't even have to pay for the box set
Right.
because
Win for everyone.
you don't pay the postage on the box until you mail it.
Right. Yep. Yep. It's a win for everyone. Plus, I mean, how cool is it to like get this box of books and the authors are all there?
Right. But the authors did I think most of them signed the books,
Yeah.
and um say I have no idea who did, or if anybody didn't, I have no
Right.
idea because I don't go in and check.
Right. Right.
I just look, oh, the box is full. Okay.
Right. I like it.
You know, so it's completely optional because I don't want to make it to where authors look at it as something that's mandatory, because I want
Yeah.
it to be fun.
Sure. Yep.
So this year's pamphlets are going to be different, or booklets. Previous year, in April and in November, I used the um, passports that you can buy, the kid ones that
Yeah.
are all blank pages.
Yeah. Yeah.
This time we're going to go a different route. I'm actually going to have booklets made up,
Oh, okay.
and um, those are going to have like it's going to have the author photo and bio with website link and
Oh, that's cool.
all of that, and then a space designated for author signature.
Oh, cool. That's
So
good. That's neat.
so yeah, it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Um, and I'm looking forward to meeting so many people in person because, and say, most people I didn't know ahead of time.
Oh,
I
well, it's
think,
good to do these interviews.
yeah. Well, yeah, out of the 32 authors, less than 10 authors did I know before they signed up for the event.
Wow. That's cool. That's cool that you're expanding. I mean, you're expanding the reach of the event, plus getting to know new people.
Yes, and it's so nice to get not necessarily new authors, but new to me authors.
Yeah.
And that means that there's so many indie authors out there. And right now we're just in Michigan, and we'll expand to October of 25. We will expand to South Carolina for our first book festival.
Mhm.
And who knows where we'll go from there.
Right.
My whole goal is to take it nationwide.
Cool.
So, because every networking event I've been to down here in South Carolina, there have been either they're at some point in the writing process or they already published their book or they know someone.
Yeah.
So they're out there.
Yep. Agreed. Agreed.
Well, this has been awesome. Absolutely awesome, Tammy. And I look forward to seeing you in November.
Me too. Me too.
Yay!